Good morning. I'm Avatar Nelson for the Midnight Sea Society. Right now, London is burning. Riots and mobs are looting, setting fires, and clashing with police. It's been going on for some days. The spark that set off these riots was a police shooting of an unarmed man in an area known for racial tensions. The first riots to flare up were very much racial retaliation, but since then the violence has spread across all backgrounds. The fuel that keeps these fires burning seems to be a lack of opportunity for the youth, joblessness, poor education, and isolation. Without a stake in society to call their own, the youth of London are ready to burn it all to the ground. Now, I'm an American, so it's not my place to talk about the moods and ways and cultures across the pond. I do know a little bit about the hopeless frustration that comes with being locked out of society. The spark was struck by a police shooting, but that spark landed on a bed of kindling made from the frustrations of the young. What caused this? Failed education, not enough or poorly performing schools? A lack of good jobs for the young, a problem that will only grow worse as austerity measures roll through the nation? A whole upcoming generation ignored by society and locked out from business, politics, and culture? That, and more. We've seen the same in other countries. Iran, Egypt. A generation imprisoned fights back against the forces that cage them, at best. At worst, it turns into blind riots as we're seeing now. What's happening in London could happen in the United States. The pressures are there. A graying workforce is staying in their jobs longer, so fewer jobs are opening for younger workers. A bachelor's degree, so they say, is the new high school diploma. Tens of thousands of dollars in debt just to compete for an entry-level job. The economic crash is shrinking the job pool even more, locking younger workers out in favor of industry veterans. Austerity measures will pull back the social safety nets millions rely on, while also clamping down on job growth. The candle burns from both ends. Politics is a game for the rich and established, and the youth of our nation feel they have no voice. With millions of dollars pouring into campaigns from corporations and billionaires, those feelings are not unfounded. Left with no jobs, no education, and no say, how are the young to find their place in our society? Violence becomes their only option. That is the future we see rushing at us like a freight train with the collapse of our society painted across its grill. Trains run on tracks, though, and there is a way to step off those tracks and back to safety. We must provide opportunity. We must give our young, our old, our middle-aged the opportunity to claim a stake in our society. We must provide education because only an educated populace can build the future. These battles over teachers and unions and salaries are useless and worse than useless. We must provide social safety because an accident, illness, or losing a job shouldn't financially cripple a family. We don't want to be in the business of making more poor people. We must involve young people in politics because they will be the leaders of tomorrow. It is the youth who are in touch with the challenges of our emerging world. The voice of the people must belong to the people, not to big money interests. We must put our people to work in this time of hardship because our economy runs on demand, and the only thing that will create new demand is employed people with money they're ready to spend. We can create these jobs by funding new industries and technologies and rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure. There will be a price to pay for all this, but that price is not a cost, it is not a loss, it is not a debt. Opportunity is an investment that'll pay off in a future for our youth and the upcoming generation, an investment that will pay off for all of us. If we do nothing, if we close our hearts and lock an entire generation away from society, there will also be a price. As London shows, that price will be paid in fire. I'm Avatar Nelson for the Midnight Sea Society. Our sympathies and best wishes go out to all those caught in these riots. Thank you for listening.